We often go out to repeat victims, and it can take a victim on average 7 incidents before leaving a perpetrator, and we have to be mindful that at any point this could be the victim's time that they do want to leave. If you've been to that victim on the 30th time, you have to take it as serious as the first time and presume that there's always that window.
Provide is about improving the service that we give to victims of domestic abuse, and we started it when the pandemic first began because we saw a drop-off in reported crimes being called through to police, and we knew that these offences were still being committed.
I contacted the then head of crime and asked, could we do something? That was the Monday of the national lockdown, and on the Wednesday we started to form this initiative, and it was up and running within a couple of weeks.
Currently, Provide responds in the immediate hours after an incident where police are informed that there's been a domestic abuse case, and Operation Provide will go out with a health IDVA and a response PC to see the victim and ensure that they have all the safeguarding that they need that's tailored towards them on that day.
Independent domestic violence advisors, so we advocate for the victims that we go and see, be that through speaking to other agencies, giving help and advice or whatever. We're there to advocate and advise that victim.
The IDVA, I think, does take the more patient step back role. The fact you don't have a uniform on, it breaks
really
barriers.
Does.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have 2 lanyards. One's a Lancashire Constabulary one and an NHS, and that just lets people know straight away that you are an NHS employee, you're a health IDVA.
The IDVAs who go out with the police officers are specially trained in domestic abuse. Domestic abuse is very complex, it's very emotional, it's very difficult to deal with, and police officers have limited training in that area, particularly when they are young in service and not dealt with a lot of domestic abuse cases.
And we do have that relationship between the Constabulary and Blackpool Teaching Hospital and West Division, and all partners, the local authority, are very much supportive of this offer as well.
I feel that we upskill officers in attending DVs, but not only that, the knowledge that we gain from speaking to police about thresholds and evidence needed and case building, and it's just invaluable.
Previously we were just doing everything over the phone and we didn't have that kind of personal contact, and if you had these outstanding lines of inquiries, you'd maybe try and find someone from immediate response who could go out, but there's no guarantee of who can go, there's no guarantee of the quality of service. When one of your team's going, I am so confident that victims are going to be treated professionally, get the right advice that they need, and that the risk is going to be recognised and identified. Without Provide, I genuinely don't know how we were doing that, and maybe the answer is that we just weren't.
Domestic has always been a hot topic, and Lancashire Constabulary are very, very highly in taking a positive approach and positive action with any form of domestics. Even if it's just an argument, we'll try and take positive action and move that perpetrator or person outside the address, even if it's just to cool down. And that allows that victim to potentially think about what's happened, safeguard herself, safeguard potential children that's involved. And that's when going with an IDVA, it's not necessarily to safeguard them more, but it's around to safeguard and wrap that person around as much as we can so we can get the best possible outcome for our victims.
The engagement rates, they doubled is what we saw, and it was because we provided the victim with what they needed quicker. And it might be around, how do I move address, change bank account, get legal advice for free, that kind of stuff. But safeguarding them so that we know that they're safe and their journey through life continues safer is actually a real measurable for us, and that is a success.